Now here's a little fault that I found this week in my trying to perfect the idea of doing an arpeggio in an elliptical motion is if you're coming, for example, in the left hand and coming from a lower note to an upper note, it creates a half ellipse. Notice that is a half of an ellipse. I'm turning the corner of the ellipse down here, I'm turning the corner of the ellipse this way by, in both cases, getting the pulling motion. And the centroid of the ellipse, in this case, is pretty much the index finger. Now I'm doing something wrong. Are you noticing? I'm sticking my thumb out ahead of time when I don't need to do that. It imbalances the hand because the heavier part of the hand is on the thumb side and the lighter part of the hand is on the fifth finger pinky side. So a lot of great teachers, of course, talk about the expanding and collapsing hand. We still need to apply that fundamental concept. And if we do that, we'll start with the thumb more contracted and then bring it out. We don't need to bring that thumb out until we need it. And it allows us to have more control. We can put a little more weight and a little more controlled weight down here on the pinkle. Down here, the pinkle, the pinky. Now, we don't want to jerk the thumb. The tendency was to jerk the thumb in. Just let the thumb flow out. And still keep that parabolic motion. We're starting this note by not by pushing, but by pulling and turning. Pull and turn. Get the thumb out, get the thumb in, and pull the thumb out and bring it back in. Now there I pushed on it, so pull. You pull by rotating the hand. You pull like this. It's a little hard to pull with that stretch, but you can still do it. You pull it by making that turn of the corner of that major ellipse of the ellipsoid, major corner of the major axis of the ellipsoid, if I can say this right, my tongue is tied. And bring the thumb out and turn it and bring it back in. And now, let's talk about what happens when we want to go the opposite direction. Let's take, again, the left hand. What if I wanted to go? Now, interestingly, I'm still creating a clockwise rotation in the left hand. I'm still creating an ellipse, but I'm using the lower part of the ellipse. Here I'm using the upper part of the ellipse. So the ellipse curve is the upper part, but if I'm going, I'm still using a clockwise rotation. But if I use the arpeggiation going in the opposite from the high note down to the low, I'm still creating a clockwise rotation, but I'm making the lower part of the ellipse arc. Let's get that thumb in. You're done with the thumb, pull it in, turn that corner. So when practicing our arpeggios, it's good to maybe go in both directions, even though we may only have this written in the music. So practice this by going and just making that ellipse. Get the thumb out, get the thumb in, turn that corner, turn that corner. That way you'll understand you're making a continuous clockwise ellipse. Upper arc for an ascending, lower arc for a descending. And of course, everything I'm saying will be the opposite for the right hand. In the right hand, when you're making an ascending arpeggio, it'll be the lower part of the ellipse going counterclockwise, and a descending will be the upper part of the ellipse going, again, counterclockwise. Same principle.